Another great atmosphere in there, another great score, big win. We still got room to grow. There's plenty of things that we can improve on. I thought it was the thing of the night that I noticed as we went through is that every single leadoff routine on every event started off at a 9-9. And when you do that, good things are going to come down the line. Because I've told you, I've sat in this room and told you all before, our first three may be the reason that we can really do something special this year on every event. Because everybody's got their back three. But those first three, the table setters, if you will, as we referred to them before, if they can start you out at that scoring level, there's a chance something special can happen. So I'm happy with the win. I think the right decision at the end. I pulled Kaya. There really was no sense in doing that since we nursed her Achilles the way that we do, and it might afford us the opportunity to use her Sunday if necessary. Just by doing that, the score was already. We knew we had won. We knew it was our highest score of the year. I know it kind of squashed the climax of the meet for the crowd and that kind of thing, but we just have to be judicious and make good decisions for the longevity of her. And so I think that it was the right call.
Questions?
Can you just talk about the depth of this team and the ability to, plug and place different athletes when injuries come up?
Yeah, and we do have the depth, and there's more depth coming. I mean, we've got several. I warmed up 3 more bar routines tonight than what was out there, so we warmed up a total of 11 bar routines out there tonight that could go, and Liv Dunn getting in on floor and doing what she did and went 9-9, and it's like we didn't miss a beat. Alona being out is a big blow, but it's when you can replace her with somebody of that caliber, and there's more behind it. Sierra Ballard, who's gone 9-9 for us in the past, is another one that's there. Elena Arenas can do a floor routine. So we've just got a lot of them, and the trick is how you got to keep them happy, right? So they've got to understand that their job is to be ready, so they don't have to get ready. And when they get their opportunity, they got to go out there and get it done. And the new kids that went in tonight did a great job of that. So we'll see some new faces Sunday probably in all likelihood. We haven't made any decisions about lineups yet, but my guess is, we wrote down 3 or 4 contingency plans earlier in the week, depending on how this went tonight. And my guess is we'll be able to get some new faces in on Sunday for Missouri and Arkansas.
And, kind of what you were saying with Missouri and Arkansas, even if there weren't any injuries and, there weren't any issues of that nature, how comforting is it to know that you just have that ability to be able to, perhaps rest some athletes?
It's tremendous. It's tremendous. It's you got to let them go through the process of getting their feet wet too. So sometimes when you put somebody new in, you got to be able to excuse a little bit of a mistake because it's their first time going. Elena Arenas did bars for us for the first time ever and did a really nice bar set until the dismount. And but she's been doing a great job in the gym, and I think we'll see her back out there again. But it is very comforting. It's very comforting to know that if things get a little bit wonky and we have some issues that we got to deal with, that we can absorb it to a large extent.
4th highest beam score in program history. How would you describe that from that rotation from top to bottom?
That beam team's pretty solid, man. And again, it goes back to Christina Desiderio. I know I keep beating that drum, but the way she starts us off, it's just such a settling thing. I thought Bridget Dean, coming through after her first 2 meets, struggling a little bit and kind of getting back in her rhythm and doing the routine she did tonight was a big routine for us to get her back over that hump. Kai Rivers did another nice job tonight on beam. And we've got other pieces. Sammy Durante can do it. Elena Arenas can do it. There's Olivia Dunn is a great beam worker. So is KJ Johnson. So we're just, we're trying to bring people along a little bit slow, and put them in places where they're most comfortable and where we see the most level of consistency. But that was a heck of a beam lineup. And we're getting to a part of the season where on that event I don't like to change things too much as we get towards the back half of the season. So that could potentially, and I'm not locking myself into that just yet, but that could wind up being the lineup that you see down the stretch into the postseason.
Just considering throughout the season how KJ's performed as a freshman, can you just talk about the injuries that she's been able to overcome and still perform the way she has?
Oh man, that she's had a rough time the final 2 years of her club career. She's got two titanium rods in her shin, both shins, and they hurt. They're not going to break because there's titanium in them, but they do hurt, and it's painful. And she's got issues with her back that I think we made some headway on getting cleared up this week. But the more than anything with her is she's discovering that she's really good, and she's got world-class ability and quick twitch and explosive power. And if we continue to see her grow to where she's believing how good she can be, I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. There's no limit to what she could do over the long haul for this team and this program on 4 events at some point.
Any other questions for Coach?
It's late too, isn't it?
It's after the print deadline, yes, I got it in before you talk, sorry.
Oh, come on, bro.
You only read it online. I know. So, any idea how much you might compete, Kaya and Haley on Sunday?
I don't yet. I think the likelihood that Haley will, Haley felt good after the meet. She said she felt good, and we didn't, we had kind of come through this period where every time we'd get going, there was another little tear. So my hope is that it's done and that we're past that little, the kind of incremental tearing of the plantar fascia that we kept going on. She says she feels good at the end of the meet, and generally, well, she always says she feels good. So that's a caveat. She's not ever going to tell me she doesn't, but I can usually tell in her face and in the way she says she feels good whether it's true. She said it with a little fervor, so I think she will get to go. I don't know if it'll be all 4. I think Kaya probably comes out on something. It may not be floor now though, because I think initially, my mind was wrapped around the idea of not competing her on floor. But given that she didn't go tonight, maybe we can do that, and maybe we can rest her on something else and give somebody an opportunity somewhere else. I just really got to do the math and figure it all out in the morning. Once they get in for treatments in the morning, we get on the bus at 9:30. We'll kind of get an injury update from our trainer Jenny, and we'll be able to kind of ascertain what direction we want to go from there.
I know this isn't what you wanted, this isn't what you planned, but at the same time, this is what you will see in April, right? So,
Right.
I mean, like the 2 and 3 days.
Yeah.
So just talk about that.
Well, and that, Scott, that's exactly the way we presented it to the team, is that we're not going to look at it as a negative thing that we have to make up a meet and do a double weekend. This is an opportunity. It's an opportunity that other teams aren't getting unless they've scheduled a double meet weekend. And we're going to have 2 meets in 3 days, and we're going to have to do that if we want to go where we want to go. And so this is an opportunity for us to get a feel for that and understand what that feels like, and really, get accustomed to it. So it's a great opportunity for us, and hopefully we can go to Missouri and perform well. The only difference is that when you get to postseason, you're probably not going to make very many lineup changes, and we can do that this weekend as a bit of a luxury. But just from a travel and taxing, sort of mentally, it can prepare us better for that.
Jay, it looks like Aaliyah Finnegan is really starting to settle in. What are you thinking about her opportunity for additional?
Yeah, I think Aaliyah is, you're exactly right. I mean, she's become like a mainstay on balance beam, and now on floor, we're seeing that come together for her too. I told her tonight, she warmed up bars, and there was a chance we might get her in, but she didn't quite get over the hump this week, and Elena beat her out, and so she may get to go on bars Sunday. But I think more than anything, she just has to be settled. She gets a little amped up right now. It's just lack of experience in this. She's got tons of experience in the sport, obviously, but this is a different animal. And so when you get in front of these crowds and you're doing it for your team, it just feels so different. And so she's just kind of, we're bringing her along as slow as we can, and just trying to put her in places, just like KJ, it's no different. We're just trying to keep her in places where she's comfortable, confident, and everything happens naturally.
Everybody good?
All right, guys, thank you.
Thank